to join, spirit to spirit, lighted by your word. And with your breath of life, that's how I come alive. That's how I change my world. Father, to join, from your spirit to my spirit, I am lighted by your word. And with your breath of life, that's how I come alive. That's how I change my world. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. YAHUAH is your name, breathe, Lord. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Say, Father to joy,
Father to child, spirit to spirit, lighted by your word.
and with your breath of life,
That's how I come alive.
that's how I change my
That's
world.
how I change my world.
Say, Father to joy,
Father to child, spirit to spirit, lighted by your word.
with your breath of life,
That's how I come alive.
that's how I change my world.
That's how I change my world. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
YAHUAH,
Your name, oh hey, is your name. Breathe, Lord.
just breathe your name.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Lift your hands and say, just breathe your name.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Yeah.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Your name, oh hey, is your name. Breathe, Lord.
Just breathe your name.
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Say, Father to joy,
Father to child,
spirit to spirit,
lighted by your word.
and with your breath of life,
That's how I come alive.
that's how you change your
That's
world.
how I change my world.
Say, Father to joy,
Father to child, spirit to spirit, lighted by your word. With your breath of life,
that's how I come alive.
that's how I come alive.
That's how I change my world.
That's how I change my world.
Somebody lift your voice and say,
Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe. Just breathe
Just breathe your name. Somebody lift your hands up and let the breath of the Almighty come upon you. Breathe.
There's nothing better. Ask and you will give. Seek and you will find. There's nothing better than the living God. There's nothing better than the living God. Ask and he will give. Seek and you will find. There's nothing better than the living God. There's nothing better than the living God.
Lord, the trumpet in Zion. Sound the alarm. This is a war cry. Devil will say no to you over this generation. I shall let the army roll.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to THC. We're Mark and Kim. We're so glad you could join us today. On today's program, we're going to be talking about part 4 of the book of John. For those of you that are watching for the first time, we study the scriptures chapter by chapter, verse by verse, so that you can get a complete understanding of what you are reading versus pulling scriptures out of subject matter, because it's the topic that is important in the report of the Besorah. Bible reading and Bible studying and how you approach the living word is very important to your understanding. It is the guider. It's the way that the Ruach can guide you into all truth. Satan knows this, and so do high people in high levels and places. And this is why they brought in tons of confusion by giving us different interpretations by man and mixing all the pages up and mixing all the chapters
To bring the confusion.
to bring in the confusion. So to eliminate that, Yah has given us the Besorah so that we can absolutely see the first chapter of the New Testament and the reason for John to actually talk about it in its profound order. And the order that John does that will give you a complete, no doubt, understanding of the truth. And so we're going to talk about the book of John. We're in our part 3 of the book of John today. We went over part 1, part 2. Started at chapter 1. We're going to go through the entirety of the book of John. But it's getting more profound and it's more interesting. And it gets away and gets rid of all of the religious tactics that have been held against all of us since our quote-unquote walk with God, is that they call it. But when we woke up, we know that his name was YAHUAH,
Yes.
our Father. And one of you guys quoted today, I think Allie, when you quoted, good morning to YAHUAH, shepherds and the kings, family of Yahushua. Hallelujah to our source. I mean, just to learn that, to be able to speak that is a blessing, to be able to read that. So, but again, welcome, guys. We're going to get right into it in just a bit.
Well, good morning. And like Mark said, welcome to the house campus where YAHUAH reigns daily in our life. And I want to just remind you guys that as September approaches for the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, you may contact the office to purchase your ticket by September 1st. So we can move forward and get all plans prepped for that evening. Well, will it be evening? I can't remember if it's evening or day. But anyway, we'll be prepped for it. And also about the message that we are learning through Book of John, chapter 3, and how actually the communication went with with John in explaining who Yahusha was and his character is such a beautiful thing. I love it. I enjoy it. So I encourage those to go back that have not got an opportunity to hear about this teaching of the book of John. Go back into our channel and you will see and look for the chapter 3 of book of John and just go from there on. And with that, we want to go ahead and just thank the Father because he is who he is. And we just honor you for that, Father. And as you do what you do in our lives, we ask that you do what you do. Go out, touch those that are lost, brokenhearted, and misled, Father. And as you do that, we ask that you draw them here to the house campus broadcast where they could hear your basor, your word, your report, Father, of your goodness in their life. And we thank you for that. In the name that is above every name, it's your son's name, Yahusha Hamashiach. We give you the praise, the glory, and the honor. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Now, book of John, chapter 3. Again, just for some of you that had missed, a couple of parts, I want to be able to lay this foundation down that you can go back and verify it on your own. Now, keep in mind, coming out of the book of Malachi, you had this 400-year gap, and then all of a sudden John shows up talking about the light. What is John's motive to talk about the light? He wants to talk about the light, but really quickly, he talks about how we get connected to the light. He says it's not by your own flesh, or excuse me, not by your own bloodline, okay, not by your own desire, and not by any man that can give this to you. Because man has sold it in Christianity that they are the ones that taught you a message, and they are the ones that get the credit for the souls, okay? And that's a bunch of hogwash. And so John immediately comes out and says, not by any of those three means, but only by the breath, or only by believing in his name, that YAHUAH will breathe upon you. And he says, and then of course it's by the Father. Then John has to deal with this light. He keeps talking about this light over and over again. Yeshua shows up on the scene. And then of course he's in his later age, and then you can see how he is, noticing or it's being noticed in the writer, because you remember Lazarus is really the writer of the book of John. And YAHUAH is actually the one that actually wrote it, but it's really Lazarus that's writing this. And what you find is that in his writings, you see how Yeshua is like, they're mad about his name. There's something about his name that they just can't take. And then at the same token, as he's going down and going further into his ministry, then Nicodemus shows up in chapter 3. And one of the things that he says about Nicodemus, he says, aren't you a teacher? Aren't you supposed to know the fact about basically first, second, third earth ages? Okay, you sitting here trying to get me, Nicodemus is on this Hindu trip, which is what we see today in Christianity, about you can have this instantaneously born again experience. Because remember, born again, you remember they forget the word again, that means twice. Okay, born again more than once. Okay, no, you're born from above only one time. You're born from above, meaning that you're born into your mother's womb, not born again. That would be like 3 births.
Right, that's ridiculous.
That'd be stupid. Yeah, so that'd be like you're born from heaven, and then you're born out of your mom. Then you're born out of your mom's womb. Yes. Number 2, right. and then you're born the third time. It's complete Hinduism, and so it's like reincarnation. Hinduism says reincarnation. Christians say born again. But we read on our last one that Yahusha was brought forth as the only begotten of the Father. And then you and I are begotten because we are eternal beings. We're eternal until the second death, unless those that have rejected the name, because remember, John talked about it in John 1. He says, I gave power to those to become the sons of Yah, or YAHUAH, to those that believed on his name. That was it. It wasn't all this Christianity stuff that we got sucked into. That was it, because of the book's orders. Now, keep in mind, don't blame people today. It's not your job to go out and cast pearls and put it before people. And a lot of people are just completely, totally innocent, and there's also some that are not. But it's not up to you to do that. Let the wheat grow with the, what do you call it?
The tear.
The tear. Let the wheat grow with the tear. Like in Revelations at the end, it says, let them keep doing what they're doing. Just don't bother yourself with that. Okay? And just let it be. So I want to lay that out because we got people that are coming in on the beginning.
And welcome.
And so that we can give that to you. Okay, let's go ahead and continue in the book of John chapter 3. John chapter 3, we went up to verse 21, but again, to the most important word is the word begotten, not born again. Begotten of the Father, that's first earth age. This is before Genesis chapter 1. We were already in heaven, okay? When we were in heaven, there was the catabol, or this before the destruction. There is a third of Yah's children went. That's billions of people, by the way, billions of souls that made a decision that this is where you get your political system. They were protesting against our Father in heaven. A protest happened. You know who started that? Lucifer. Lucifer's ways. This is where you get your democratic system, your Republican system today. This is where you get voting today. All that did anybody
started in heaven?
Yeah, it started in heaven. Did you ever wonder where that came from? It originated in heaven. That's where it came from. And so Satan was on one side, talking about, hey, I just want to do things my way, and then a third of Yah's children decide they want to follow him. And then you had the ones that stayed back, the last. And that's why the first will be last, okay? And the last will be first. And so and so forth. And so that's why the catabol happened. Y'all destroyed it all. So that's it. Everybody gonna come through the womb. So now we come through the womb begotten. Okay, now why did we come through the womb begotten? Because if you recall, the fallen angels already had in their mind that they were going to leave the holy habitation without coming through the womb and enter into the earth realm. And this is why it is completely stupid to believe in being born again. If born again had the capacity to be based on a statement, then all the angels that left heaven can make that same statement.
Right.
And be born again. But they were never born from above. Okay, so and the reason why is because you can't make yourself begotten. The Father has to make it all happen. So it's by his hand. And this is where we get, by grace or by the favor of Yah, you were delivered, not of yourselves, lest any man should boast. But we get them boasting every week, every day. I saved this many people. We saved this many people. I got saved. I did this. I confessed this. I did this. And that all comes out of works of the flesh, which is a lot has to do with him.
Jamie has a question.
Yeah. Okay, Jamie's question was what?
I still want to know where the negative will desire of Lucifer came from.
It came from himself. It says that it was found in him. Iniquity was found in him. It came from his own heart because he has the free will. Now, Lucifer, at the time, it's in the book of Ezekiel. In fact, it's around chapter 13. But Ezekiel, Lucifer is a son. That's what a lot of people have to understand. He's an angelic son, but he's still a son. He's Yah's creation. Okay? And what he did is that he worked himself up the ranks, and then he was, because that free will. Everybody has this free will to to do what they want to do. Well, Lucifer was there guarding. He's supposed to guard the seat, the heavenly seat that was there. He's supposed to guard that seat. And what he did is that he the mercy seat. He didn't want to guard it no more. He wanted to sit on it. He wanted to be like Yahusha and sit on it. And he figured that he'd go off into heaven and he'd go off somewhere, and then he would get, everybody to start coming his way, to believe his system, to believe his way.
And what's the craziest part of the whole thing is you're in a place where all needs are met. You got access to gold, silver,
everything,
whatever you want.
And he wasn't satisfied.
And he wasn't satisfied.
He just wanted that seat.
He wanted that seat To do what?
To do what? The mercy seat. What do you want the mercy seat for? You couldn't be no more closer to the Father than you was.
Yeah.
You was right.
Like
But he said that not only he wanted the seat, he wanted to be like the Most High.
Yes, he wanted
to be Yahuwah.
Yeah.
And he hates the name Yeshua so bad. That's why he gave us this Latin word, Jesus. And because he doesn't want to say he's Yeshua. Right. He hates that name.
Right. And it boils down to he wanted the seat where Yahshua was.
He wanted to see where Yahshua was.
He knew Yahshua was in heaven already, but he wanted the seat of the Father, meaning the right hand of the Father. He didn't want the seat, but he wanted Yahshua's seat.
He wanted Yeshua.
That's why he tapped the name, and that's why he did all those things.
That's correct, Dr. Rosetta. And the mercy seat looked too good to him. He himself was tempted by the seat. That is absolutely correct. And so yeah, that's what he wanted. I want to sit here.
Yeah, he wanted to be Yahshua.
Yeah, he wanted to.
He didn't want to be the Father. He wanted to be Yahshua.
Yeah, but he wanted to have the Father's power. I'll be like.
Yeah, because that's what any child.
Because he says, I'll sit my seat above the heavens.
Right.
And I will sit like the Most High.
I will sit like. He ain't sitting there. He just want to be like. Yeah. But the whole point is that's why he attacked the name, because he wants to bring. Now,
and you guys understand this, and I want to help you with this, because this is a hard word to remove from our language. The word God. Okay, if you are writing, and I should have took time, but we're flowing off of. We still haven't gotten to the book yet. It's 20 minutes into this. One of the names of Lucifer was Gadriel. Gadreel, Gadriel. Okay, it might have an I in there too. Now, okay, Jamie, hold on for a second. Gadriel. Well, that is one of the angelic names of Lucifer, Gadriel. It's where we get the word. You'll see it as Gadrell. And then in German and Latin, it's Gad, and then when you open that up, it's God. And so this is the word God that we say today, that by habit people still say it, and every time they say God, they don't know innocently because we've been told, but you're calling on the name of Lucifer as a supreme being. And so that's what happens. All right, Jamie, you got one more question here. You put down, I thought only people on earth were given free will. No, everybody was given free will. You had free will when you was in heaven. Y'all didn't want robots. I mean, he didn't want robots. But even the angels were the only ones, the seraphims, to this day. Lucifer was the only seraphim that was given that free will. The other angels that are even there today, they have been given assignments. So within that assignment, they can do what they want, but they don't have full free will like you and I did. And we have the free will to follow Lucifer or follow Yeshua while we was in heaven. That decision, here's the thing, was made already in heaven. So you just don't have the recognition of it. You can't recall it. But when you was in heaven, you made a decision to follow Lucifer, or about to, or you just stood up and said, I ain't following him. Now, I can't speak for y'all, but I know.
I know I was.
I know.
Yeah,
I know I was that cross going.
Yeah.
I ain't following that joker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then this is what John is talking about, or Yeshua is talking about in the book of John, when he's talking about, and he says, except a person is begotten of YAHUAH, he cannot see the he cannot see the kingdom of YAHUAH.
And the word is except for. That means if you was not selected, there ain't gonna never be a crosswind or
This is why that's why we see some people that are so evil.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck? Why are they so evil like that?
Right.
Because they are of their father, the devil.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where they made that decision. Now remember, understand the statement. The first will be last. So what does that mean? The first to deceive. The first to follow Lucifer. But again, the first will be last. Okay, and then also the first that stood up. Okay, and then the last will be first. Okay, So that's talking about now we're in the earth realm, the last. But there was millions that followed, billions that followed. A third of Yah's children decided to follow Lucifer in his little voting system while he was there. And that's where the Cataball happened, the destruction and the destroying of the first earth age, and then the creation of the second earth age. And then we entered into that. And then you notice that there's certain things that you can still see in this big old plane that we call Earth that's way bigger than what we see and we're taught in elementary. You know, all these ruins and things like that. Where do they come from? They're 10, 15, 20,000 years old because they were here during the first Earth age. Okay. All right. So let's continue to go here, guys. Just in case somebody's been watching, hello everybody, we're Mark and Kim. And you are watching THC. We're talking about the book of John today. There's so much meat and material in this, in the book of John, because John starts off as talking about the light. And when he's talking about the light, he is talking about how we get connected to this light. And he says, well, for one thing, it had nothing to do with your bloodline.
Right.
And number two, it got nothing to do with what you personally trying to do. And number three, it got nothing to do with nobody gonna preach to you.
Right.
Okay? It has everything to do with Yahuwah, and he blows where he wills. And that's why in John 3:8 it tells you wherever the wind, you know the wind blowing? Do you know where it's going to or coming or going to and fro? Right. No, you don't. So it's everyone that is begotten of the Father. Okay? So it's not up to you fully. You just got to have inside your heart a grain of a mustard seed to believe that he is who he is. And Yah will breathe on you. He made it so easy that he said a grain. A grain of mustard seed that if you just believe on his name, that he'll breathe on you. And that's what people have done. Okay? All right. All right. I think you're welcome, Jamie. What does Steph say here?
Totally agree, Dr. Rosetta. I'm with you on that one.
What did Dr. Rose say?
I feel I was.
Oh yeah. Stephanie said, "Guarantee I didn't follow that fool." We probably usually know you didn't.
Yes, that's right.
And then here's a thing too that you know, when we look at, because of religion and because of this American system, we were looked at whether people were violated in certain ways. And I just want to talk about this. People that had got abused from dad, mom, or some mother, or your uncle, your aunts, you know, or you went to school and you got bullied by some class bully, and it impaired your thinking as a child. And there was no answers for you. You know, you got to realize that Satan targeted you because you're probably in heaven looking him square in the face.
Exactly.
Look at him square in the face.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? You ain't messing with me. And then he says, okay, I'll get you when I get to hell. I'll get you when I get down to earth realm. And so he targets those that
What, you gonna whip his tail?
that was going to either whip his tail or heavily came against him.
And that's why
in the first earth age. And so now you think, oh, you know, how did God let this happen to me? Yeah, you know, it's free will. Right. You know, man still had free will. So, you know, don't worry about, you know, and I can't say, you know, because there's some horrible things that have happened to people.
Yeah, and the atmosphere of hate is so strong today, and it's supposed to get just like it is, and it's going to continue to get like that because of where we're headed into the sixth trump. So don't be fearful. Just stand and be strong, because hate is hate, and it's going to do what it's going to do because it's of his father, Lucifer. He's the author and the finisher of hate, death. He has no life. So everything he's doing is based on what he is. So, and you already know who you are. So,
all right.
Right. So let's get ahead and get into these scriptures so we could.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get into scripture. So let's build this again. For those that will come back on here later. Again, Mark and Kim, THC. We are glad that you guys can join us. We're talking about the book of YAHUAH, or better known as the book of John. We are in the first 3 chapters, and Yeshua is coming out of talking about being begotten of the Father, which is born of the water and of the Spirit. Okay, and then he breathes upon you. Okay, and so let's go into what we have here.
Verse.
We're going to go into, we can start. Now, we ended at verse 21. A lot of us, some of you that weren't following us, we'll start at verse 19, okay? And then we'll kind of just go from there. But we've already went over that, everything before that, okay? So verse 19. Okay, there we go. Okay, verse 19, it says, and this is the judgment. Do you guys see it there on your screen? It's your top right, okay? And this is the judgment, that the light has come into the world. Now notice that YAHUAH is still talking about this light. Remember, in the beginning was the Word was with YAHUAH, the Word was, the Word was Yah, and so forth. But so he's still talking about the light in chapter 3. And it says, and men loved the darkness rather than they did the light. Okay? It says, for their works were wicked. Verse 20, for everyone who practicing evil things hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his works should be exposed. And so this is a description of what is happening today, and it was happening then. And so it really helps you understand who are those that are really begotten. Okay, verse 21. But the one practicing the truth comes to the light. So this is a process. And it says, so that his works are clearly seen, that they have been confirmed in Elohim. So once Elohim, the Father, is upon you, his word is confirmed in your life. This is also where we go back in Deuteronomy. We can see in Deuteronomy 8, and back in Deuteronomy where it says in 8:18 that, but you should remember, I get the word Lord thy God on my head, you got to remember YAHUAH, for it is he that gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant. So establish or confirm his covenant. This is the confirmation. So the confirming in Elohim and so forth, because his word always backs itself up. Okay. All right. Verse 22 in the book of John, it says, after this, and there it is right there, Yeshua and his pupils, his students, came unto the land of Yahudah. And this is very important. And he remained there with them and was immersing. So this is a time where Yeshua was baptizing people. And this they needed. Okay. And this they needed because there was not, and again, this was needed for him to do it, because remember during this time, it was like they were inundated with Hinduism. They were inundated with all these other religions. They were inundated with idol worship. Okay? Like today, idol worship's at an all-time high, right? And it's just getting higher and higher. Because notice wherever there's idol worship, there's billions of dollars. Just keep that in mind, billions. Any type of idol worship, it attracts billions of dollars because Lucifer is behind it. Idolatry. Because one way to get Lucifer's attention is to get a person that loves to be worshipped. He hates that creation. He hates us so much that he will pay you hundreds, if not billions of dollars for people to worship you as long as you worship him. That's how much he hates. He hates Yah. I just got to get your own creation to turn against you and worship me. Okay? All right. And so
he was always trying to get Yah's children to turn away from him. Even Yeshua tried to get Yeshua to turn away from him. So this is some crazy man. He's crazy.
This guy's whack. I'm telling you. And
already.
And even it's gotten so bad today that when, like, I was talking about birthdays and anniversaries, it's nothing wrong. You need to say happy birthday or happy anniversary to somebody, right? But what I was referring to, which was making the people worship you.
Right. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
And don't play me like I'm stupid.
Don't play me like I'm stupid.
You know damn well what I'm talking about.
You
know that you want them to send you all their money and all their gifts and everything else. It ain't about them saying happy birthday. You want tangibles.
Because you set the date in your own doggone church. Nigga, please. I had to say it like that. I'm sorry, y'all. If you're watching for the first time, I know you heard that word before, but I'm aggravated about people just stealing from people.
Oh,
it's just like
don't play me. Okay,
don't play me. So because I put it out there,
Your cup.
I put it out there and to talk about it, and they came back and said, "Well, you trying to say that you can't even say happy birthday to our own family? Are you stupid?
Yeah, you stupid.
You stupid. You stupid."
I said, I know what class you was in when you started school.
Or you know what? But then again, you can also say, you know what? Why isn't that you don't understand my speech? Oh, I know why you can't understand. Because you of your father, the devil. Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be my.
That's gonna be my next statement.
Since you just don't want to understand what the simple thing.
The simple thing. Oh, okay, yeah. You of your father, the devil. Because
you understand that now, don't you?
You understand that one, don't you? Yeah.
Talk about boy.
And then I said, well, it's kind of funny that all the disciples did all that preaching all that time, but nobody in Christianity know their birthdays.
Until this day, nobody knows.
Nobody to this day.
You don't know what month they was born.
You don't know what year they was born. No.
But you let everybody know yours.
But you let everybody know yours. And there's only one birthday that and you don't even know when Yeshua was really born. Supposed to tell me talking about that crap.
Oh, yeah.
You can say what you want to say, but we ain't boo boo the fool. Mm-mm. Yeah, we know what your motive is, and that's your time, and so forth. But anyway, okay, all right, guys. Again, we're gonna probably lose a lot of people on that statement, but bye bye.
You know, when you know, once you know who you are and where you are and why you are, and you know YAHUAH, and now you know what YAHUAH is really all about, you ain't got time to be done with trying to explain yourself to no crazy people.
Try to explain yourself to a person that's wanted to steal from you.
I call it crazy people.
Crazy people. Okay, so we're going to continue. Let's go down to verse 20. We're at verse 20.
You're still at 23.
No, we're on 22.
23.
23. We're starting on 23. That's the next page. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, we should be at the top there, top left. And it says, and Yohanan was also immersing, and I believe this is in, let me see, I got to look at in another language so I can put it there for you guys.
Salem?
I'm trying to, the fountain, there's two places, in Salem, because there was plenty of water there. So this is a different location, obviously. So that's where Yeshua was at, and that's obviously it's just telling you the report, okay? So it's not a message. It's not. Don't get deep. There ain't no some mystical stuff.
Ain't no mystical. It's just this place is.
They were at Starbucks.
Okay.
Don't try to find a sermon out of Starbucks.
Exactly.
Okay?
Oh, Starbucks got green. Green mean money.
Green mean green. There might be a lady. Don't try to throw down some toothpicks and stuff.
Yes.
So, but it's just a location, and it's talking about the story of what his experiences were. And it says, and they were coming, and were being, what does it say here? Immersed. Verse 24. And Yohanan had not yet been put into prison. Okay, it's describing that. Then a dispute arose. Now notice this. Now that's a good reason between some of Yohanan's pupils and of the Yehudim about cleansing. And the reason why those disputes came out is because of that religion.
Right.
That religion that was already present there, you guys. Because that religion of superiority, the religion of who's first and who's right, all the same stuff they deal with today. Verse 26, and they came to Yohanan and said to him, Rabbi, he who is with you beyond the Yarden, to whom you have witnessed, see, he is immersing, and all are coming to him. So they see they're seeing that this is the same mess that people say.
The same mess.
The same mess that people do. Well, he baptized in the name of the Father, the Holy Ghost, and then he baptized in the name of Jesus. It's just they're trying to pin YAHUAH against his own relative, Yeshua. And so John is just listening to him. I was like, oh my goodness. And then here's what YAHUAH says in verse 27. And this tells you how powerful, just how he settles it. So in verse 27, YAHUAH answered and said, no man is able to receive anything unless it is given to him from heaven. So he shut them up.
Like, what you talking about?
But in a normal case, the other pastor would have said, well, you know, he would have had a reason to pin himself and compare himself.
Right. Some type of theory.
Some type of theory of, well, you know what? That's his relatives going back over there. They were here, but they wanted to go back over there. You know,
and he's still looking stupid. Like, what you talking
whatever
about?
I'm
just saying, even when the explanation would still be looking like,
yeah, you're
what
still
you talking about, Willis?
But what John did is say, listen, ain't nobody can do this unless heaven be with him.
That's it. I don't know anything else you talking about.
So all that he just stepped on top of that. So that shows you that YAHUAH was very similar to even Yeshua when you try to pin him against his cousin.
Right. Like, you done lost your mind.
Like, oh, yeah,
just because we didn't hang out like you, don't
get it twisted. John looked back and said, look, unless it came from above,
exactly,
he couldn't do that anyway.
Yeah. So
what you talking about?
You still lost. Oh my goodness. I love it.
Yes, Allie Mess.
Simple thing.
Okay.
Simple thing. Y'all is so simple.
Y'all is very simple. And that's the good thing about his report. When you read through his report and you follow through like we're doing together, this is how you do it. Okay, let's go to verse 28.
Here we go.
It says, you yourselves are witness for me that I've said, I am not the Mashiach, but I am sent ahead of him. Now, let's bring this up. Okay. Now, how do we know that this is a profound statement? Because 400 years passed, and the first thing that YAHUAH said is, "I come to testify of this light."
Okay.
So he's coming back again in 3 chapters later, and he's saying the same thing. He's repeating the same thing. Hey, look, I'm here to testify of the light. Unless it comes from above, you can't come anyway.
It don't matter what you think.
It don't matter what I think. It don't matter what you think. It don't matter what I think. I come to testify about this light. Yeah. That happens to be my cousin.
Yes, it so happened to be him.
Yeah, verse 29. And he that has the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the voice of the bridegroom. So this joy of mine is complete. Like, look, man, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I don't need all y'all trying to follow me. My joy is complete.
Yeah.
I was told to come testify that light. I am that light. I'm a friend of the bridegroom. I'm doing my job. I'm good. Right. All that other stuff y'all talking about,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. You are trying to pin Johnny against Joey because Johnny went to that. He went over there
to that school.
He went over to that school. He went over there. He goes, I got nothing to do with me. My joy is complete. Yeah. I'm in him. I'm good.
I'm good. That's it. That's it.
All right.
Continue.
All right. And then he says this. And then he still goes and he's still popping them on top of the head. Verse 30. It is right for him to increase, but me to decrease. Right, okay, look, all right. He said, look.
Say it again.
He said, it is right for him, talking about Yeshua, to increase, but me to decrease. So what was they trying to do? They're trying to do the same thing what Lucifer was doing. But remember, they was in the church. Jesus got, he got his own people going over there getting baptized, you know.
Doing his thing.
Yeah, he over there, but why are they going over there and not over here to you? And he said, look, first of all, they can't even go where he's at unless y'all draws him. And second of all, I ain't trying to mess with that. I got plenty of joy. In fact, he must increase so I can decrease.
And a good example is the begging man at the gate. How many times did Yeshua walk past that man? He didn't move until he was told the wind blew. Go over there. It tell them to get up. You know, the things are so simple, but let's keep going.
Verse 31. He said, he who comes from above is over all.
Overall.
Aren't y'all getting this? Mm-hmm. And so they were sitting there trying to attack Yeshua, and John is saying, the guy that came from above, from heaven, he's above all. Didn't Yeshua describe that early on in this chapter? He sure did. He said, I'm from above. And then he says, and he who is from the earth is of the earth and speaks of the earth. This is why I can go on about this statement here in a whole nother level, because this is why you don't chase people that are good in certain areas, because you'll find people that are very good in business and you don't know why. A lot of them are from the earth. In other words, that's their system, and they're so good at it. And you being anointed, trying to copy somebody who's earthly, it ain't gonna work.
That's right. That's
You
right.
got to know what you're looking at. You know, some of these people in there doing all these wild numbers, and
Say, why they
so prosperous? Why they from earth?
right? His mindset and his will is earth.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, they're earthly. So you gotta know what you're watching. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing I can talk about. But a lot of times people try to chase the wealth of the wicked, or the wealth. I wouldn't say the wealth of the wicked.
Yeah.
They try to chase the wealth of the world system, or they try to emulate somebody in the world, and you from above, and you following somebody who's doing it from the earth.
Right.
It's a whole
Right.
different way to understand that. Okay, let me keep reading on this one. I'm still in verse 30. It says at the very end, he who comes from the heaven is over all. So there he goes. He keeps saying it again. Verse 32. It says, and what he has seen and heard, that he witnesses, and no one receives his witness. And again, this is the problem that we have today, is that his witness today is about who he was based on his name. What is his witness, people? What is his witness? That what he described to Yohanan, or excuse me, what he described to that boy, Nicodemus, that was his witness, and it wasn't received. His witness of John's witness wasn't received. As much as you read John chapter 1, the Christian church today will not receive that.
Right.
They will not receive that it's not bloodline. They will not receive it's not by your desire. They will not receive it's not by the will of man. And they won't receive begotten from above. They will not receive his witness. That's what you're talking about. In the first part of the New Testament, they ain't going to receive my name. He's saying it right there. They will be born or begotten of the Father. He says, as many as received him, to them he gave them power to become the sons of YAHUAH, to those that believed on his name. He says that witness is not received.
That's right.
To this day. So they went out and established their own righteousness.
Doing the same process again that Lucifer did of their father, the devil.
Yeah.
Doing the
And
same
so that's what we see today.
It's the same process. I mean, this on the earth.
But again, let's read verse 32. Look at it. Check this out. Read verse 32. It says, and what he has seen and heard, that his witness, about that he witnessed, and no one has received his witness. Verse 33. For he who receives his witness, watch this, has set his seal that Elohim is true. What is the seal referring to? Remember the seals that we talked about? Those seals that are on your forehead, okay? The seals is the knowledge of the word, the knowledge of what he said at you're being sealed. So
the forefront.
Your frontlets. Yeah, and so that's why you can set your seal. That's what that's talking about. What seals? The 7 seals. Why are those seals important? So that when Lucifer shows up at the 6th trump, you are sealed with the voice of Elohim, and the devil can't deceive you. And so you're sealed. And that's what that's about. You being sealed. You should say, I'm sealed by Elohim. I'm sealed because, Now, when I say Elohim, I'm talking about you're sealed by the Creator. Who is the Creator? Yahuwah is the Creator. Yahuwah is the Creator because he's the Father. And who's the Son? Yeshua. It's just that simple. You will see that breakdown in before this book is over here. Okay, but that's what's most important.
Correct.
You are sealed now.
Thank you.
Because why? I took the witness. What he said told me I couldn't get born. I'm born from above. Okay, and he was the brought forth son. Okay, I believe that, and all I have to do is believe in his name. Okay, and that was the word.
Simple.
That was the works. Okay, not all this other stuff. And sin in its purest form. I'm gonna say this 10 times. Sin in its purest form. Sin in its purest form. Sin in its purest form. What is sin? I'm about to tell you what sin is. Sin. Sin is purest form. Sin. What is sin? I need to know what sin is. Because wherever I'm seeing where everybody type what sin is, that ain't sin, y'all. Sin is unbelief.
And that's what you see rampant.
Unbelief in what? His name.
That's right.
They don't believe in his name. That's sin. When you don't believe in his name, the side effects, all the side effects that go along with it, is everything else you see. So the church talk about side effects. They go, that's sin. That's sin. You don't go to church. That's sin that they don't reverence the pastor.
And the church is not even a side effect.
Right.
That ain't never was
that's how they confuse people. The sin. The sin not tithing. You know, the sin is
the sin to them is anything that don't get them anything.
Or make them look bad or good.
That's about that.
Okay.
Sin to them is anything that doesn't make the church prosperous.
Don't make them money.
Yeah.
Whatever don't make that building money is sin. You going out spending your money in nightclub. You in a nightclub, you sinning. There gonna be a nightclub. Remember, your tail was out in that nightclub too.
You still go to nightclub. You go to them jazz clubs.
You go to jazz club. You go to the winery. You go to the winery. Listen to the jazz. Get your little sip on.
Come on,
So
man.
shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Just be quiet. Woo! Y'all know. I know.
I'm telling y'all. Sin. The only sin that matters is rejecting that name because you don't believe it.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
So when everybody talk about sin is the club, is what are all these other things that you do with this physical body, that is not what sin is. No. Now, if you don't believe in that name, then the enemy has access to make you do a lot of those things. So, and then that comes on, and that had nothing to do with anything. That's just based on righteousness. That's self-afflicted stuff. You might as well just say sin is eating lamb, or is eating some pork, or eating poison, or drinking soda pop. Sin should be drinking Coca-Cola. That should be sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Sin should be getting mad at somebody else's kid. Mm-hmm. You can come up with all kinds of stuff, yo. But that's not, sin is not a human reaction. Sin is when y'all put his son in front of you, did you believe that his name was important? And if you can say his name wasn't important, that I'd rather call him another name, that is sin. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that you don't get sent to hell.
And no, they're not the same. You know, throw that one in there too. It's the same thing. No, it's not. They're nowhere close to the same.
And the reason why, and we can go into this, but we're going to take a break here. The reason why is because Yeshua means, it means Yah gives salvation. That's what Yeshua means. Mm-hmm. Jesus don't mean anything. They don't mean nothing like that. You know, Yeshua means Yah adds salvation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Father's name and the Son's name is similar. How can you have another name that's not? Because it's Lucifer. Mm-hmm. Hello. And that's what they've been calling him. So Lucifer is G-O-D, and he got Jesus. Mm-hmm. That's what he got. Mm-hmm. And people using it all day. And they put Lord all day. They put Bell. They got them all. They got them all. And then wait till I get to Holy. Holika. You're going to find out that you ain't supposed to be saying that too. That's going to be the tough one.
Holika.
Holika is the name of the deity. Yeah, Holika is the demon. that
You mean
they get the word
holy?
holy from. That's why they say holidays, holy days. And so that snuck into, I'm going to deal with that. Yeah. King James was pretty good, but he ain't that good.
This stick to Father, Yah, hallelujah.
Hey guys, we're going to take a break real quick. We're going to go to our Heavenly Father, our giving and receiving. I got to go back and read some of these comments that you guys have talked about. And when we come back, we're going to continue to complete the book of John chapter 3 so we can move on to chapter 4. You are watching THC, Mark and Kim. We're glad you guys can join us today. We hope that you're being blessed by the program. And if you are, just go ahead and look to your Heavenly Father and thank Him for this day. If this is a place where you decide to tithe that, then this is your place, or give a gift. You can go ahead and do that at this time. And when we come back, we're going to get right back into the book of John. We thank you guys for joining us. We'll be right back right after this.
Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And He said, yeah. Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And He said, yeah.
Raise your hands and give Him all of the praise and the glory. Welcome back. This is the time where you just say, Father, I thank you in the name above every name, and give honor to Him for what He's doing. Do you know that even over the years I taught something wrong, I got to confess? You know, it's a beautiful thing when you know that you have the heart to teach something right. And then when you get the full understanding, you go, okay, yeah, I got it. So it's partly correct, but incomplete. And it's beautiful to say the windows of heaven will open. I mean, just think about the thought of that innocent statement. But do you know the window is never closed to a son or a daughter? In fact, it was giving everybody else the opportunity that wasn't a son or daughter to have the windows open. But for you, Yah would never close a window or heaven. You don't have to do anything to get Him to open that. Isn't that something? It's already open. So as that window is open up for you right now, it's not your tithe that opens it. It's not your offering that opens it. It's already open. You are already freely there. He said He will never leave you nor forsake you. So what's He going to do? Close the window before He forsake you and open it back up? No, He won't do that. But again, as we continue our journey in YAHUAH, these are little secrets that we know about. So yeah, your window is already open. So Father, we thank you for our window being opened up over our lives and our family as we give unto you this day in the name of Yahushua. Hallelujah. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I'm kind of drunk. I'm looking at some of you guys' comments. Especially the ones that you guys said, what you were acting like when you would have been in heaven when Allie, but hell no, I would never be found on him.
Exactly.
You know what? I can actually see the ones that I've had the chance to meet that is watching this program today. You was probably standing right there. We was all dealing with that. And you know what? I got some male friends that I'll chat with a little bit later. They actually don't fully click on, but they actually watch it. But they was there too. I got some really good friends I played youth football with that I know that became police officers and I just grew up with good friends of mine. And it's interesting because I know that they were there during that time and we were standing against that. So, yeah. And let me see. People put down that they were sealed and so forth. All right, guys, welcome back again to the program with Mark and Kim. We just got a few minutes left here. We want to continue to get right back into the book of John, chapter 3. And let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to back to that verse. We are now at verse 32. Verse 33. It says, for he who receives his witness has set his seal that Elohim is true. We just read that before the break there. Verse 34. Now pay attention to this. For he whom Elohim has sent, talking about Yohanan, speaks the words of Elohim. So why even question John? For Elohim does not give the Ruach by measure. So in other words, he gave it to Yohanan. He didn't give him the ability to minister to this message. He was fully Yohanan. He was at a level he could have ministered just as on the same level as Yeshua could. He's at the same level because you can hear it in his parables. Because when they try to trap him, they try to trap him to get him to talk smack about the people who's going there, and his parable was identical to how Yeshua gave parables. So he had the Ruach without measure.
Right, and they got to remember that, like you said, John was the cousin, but John was the cousin of the mother.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. So imagine, they were always seeing each other growing up because they were close. The mother.
They were only 6 months apart.
Yeah, so
age.
the mom and sister were close. I mean, the mother, John, Yeshua's mother and her sister were close. They was out playing. He heard his cousin talk.
Well, how close were they? Well, they were close enough that when she was pregnant at 6 months.
Come on now.
Then Yeshua's mom took his butt over there to go
walk at her belly.
Walk over there to go see her sister with her belly popping out. And when she was standing right there, he leaped.
That's right.
That's like, that's my cousin. Inside the belly. And so I'm sure Yeshua touched the belly. Why John was in, Yohanan was in there. And then they had a little party and they danced around and had a good time. So they were very close. So when somebody tried to trap him or do an entrapment, he dropped that parable on him.
Like, what?
Like, don't even try to pin me against mine.
Don't take me out of my element.
Don't take me out of my element.
Because you might not like what I might come out of.
And so the confirmation of how much power he has is in this verse 34. So let's read this verse 34 again. It says this. It says, for him whom Elohim has sent, the Creator speaks. So, you got to realize, this is coming from a creator point of view, not just a father point of view, like you would see the word YAHUAH. But this is Yah talking. I created him to do this. I created John to do this. He says, for whom Elohim has sent, talking about John, speaks the words of Elohim. So John is speaking from a creator point of view, not just the father point of view. He says, for Elohim does not give the Ruach by measure. So what he ever gave to John, man, he laid it on him. Verse 35, the Father loves the Son. See that? That's precious. And has given all unto his hand. This is showing you the order of it. So the Father loved the Son. I gave it all to him. Whatever he want to do with it is up to him. Verse 36, he who believes in the Son possesses everlasting life. And so Father's saying, it ain't got nothing to do with me. If you believe in the Son, you possess everlasting. But he who does not obey the Son shall not see life. And the Father won't interrupt that. But the wrath of the Father or the Creator remains on him. And so there you have it. And so when you see that all of this is just pointing back to believing on his name and believing in the Son. And so that's why you have to understand the importance of the Creator when he speaks, the importance of when YAHUAH speaks, and the importance of when Yahushua speaks. It's different because it's a different posture. You know, I take a posture as a father. I take a posture as a business person. I take a posture as a daddy, papa. You know, it's different. So what is the posture of the Father? If he's talking about he's a creative position, he ain't trying to father you. Not at that point. No, he's got, that's his, because remember, he's got judgments, statutes, okay, and his ways, you know, is the way that he does things. They're all different. His approach is different. But in the Christian community, the quote-unquote Christian world, they don't understand that. They don't even know the name of the Father. They're clueless. They just Father. They don't even know his name is YAHUAH. But then they think his name is El Shaddai. You know, that's what they've been taught. You know, Elohim or let's see, El Elyon.
They don't know the difference between the attributes and what his name is.
They don't know.
They think the attributes is the name.
Yeah, and so how can you? That's why he says, "Get away from me. I never knew you." And so it's important to know that. Okay, guys, we are at the end. We thank you guys for joining us. Before we go, let us know what you received from today's message. What did you learn? What is your takeaway? We'll go ahead and let you go through that, and we'll give you guys a few minutes. And while we're giving you guys those few minutes, we just going to talk about, you know, something very funny that happened recently. You want to talk about how funny that was? Oh, our day? No?
No. Because they just go right back to what you...
Because we go back to what we say, right?
Yeah.
So something happened funny. We'll tell you guys when we see you in person next month, right? In person, it'd be better to tell you. We're going to crack you up, though. It's better to tell them in person. But yeah, we have been studying on the book of John. Next week, we go to chapter 4. Again, while you guys are writing your little notes there, because there's about a 1 minute delay, go ahead and make sure you want to talk to them about the Saturday. I mean, that's your hair hidden on the microphone.
Nuts, that noise. Okay, what now?
September, the date. Oh, September.
It's September. Oh, you talk, because it's
September 29th. Your hair is hitting the mic.
Where?
Your mic. You know where your mic is at?
Yeah, but I'm pulling it away. I don't know where.
September 29th is the day. It's going to be in the morning. I think it's going to be like from almost any time after 11. I think it's 12 to 4 or something like that.
Yeah, when you calling, when we talk to Vicky, she'll tell you. I don't know why I'm not even.
Yeah, so it just should be like 12 to 4.
I just know it's going to be a day of just relaxing and enjoyment, because that's the day he brought us out.
Yeah, and so one of the things that's important to understand, this is a feast of unleavened bread. So every time we get together, I think it will stay at the feast of unleavened bread. It's important to know that, because we are in a freedom position now. Okay, and the birthday is just the beginning of a new year, which we're going to get into a little bit further. And we'll see how, and we'll connect the honey and the bread. Okay, it's honey and the bread. Okay, and it was never the apple. It was a honey and the bread. It was a halim bread or something. I can't pronounce it back in those days.
CH one, the CHAL.
Khalid.
Yeah, that bread.
Khalid bread or something like that.
We're gonna eat unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread.
yeah. I ain't trying to be dope.
Yeah. But it's unleavened bread with the honey. Okay, and so we're gonna have a good time doing that, and we want you guys to be a part of that. We have nothing we have to say, or thank you, Dr. Rosetta. Nothing we have or say or do can save us. It's only by believing in our Father's name, Son's name, and being sealed. And it is. We can't do nothing, you guys. And that's good. That makes you understand the grace message. Not of yourselves, lest any man boast. And I mean, let's think of it for a minute. If the world knew they couldn't do anything to make that happen, but He alone, don't you think there would be a lot more reverence? I think so. But Christianity has lied and said, if you do it, you can do it. You're the one that can open your mouth and say something, and He will have to let you. Think about it, and He will be forced to let you in. Okay, if that's the case, why don't y'all try to come to my house and open up that gate out there? You know what I mean?
Don't do that.
And see if I let you in. Not you guys here. I'm just saying, just go out in your neighborhood and say, y'all can come to my house at will. With your, just say that you like the way my cooking smell, and I'm gonna let you in the house. In fact, just say you just know my kid, and I'm gonna let you in. Really? That is not how it works. Unless the Father draws, you can by no means come in. He's not letting everybody in his house. Because, again, I'll go back to the case. Go back to this part. The fallen angels. If they would have came down here and did that little old confession, according to Christians, they would have got saved.
Oh, I know what you
Or
could,
they could have repented.
I know what you could talk about.
What?
Wait. Using our name.
Oh, okay.
I forgot.
Well, because I'm still waiting for some of you guys to put your final comments in there. We'll bring this up again, but we want to make sure that over the past years, one of the reasons why I'm so glad that I'm not in the building, let me tell you why. I got to tell you this, is that people would use our name for financial gain. And, people would go to use our name and say that we needed money or we needed things, or they would fight among each other and bring our name into it. And it's over the last couple of years, we heard so many stories, you guys. And we just like, how the heck? We was never,
Right.
had nothing to do with us. And so it showed us how Lucifer was just taking our name and lying on it and abusing it and getting people to hate us and getting people to like. He was just using it. But all along, he was hating everybody in the process. But we've never, at any given time, told anybody to go to anybody's house or anything and trying to raise money for any kind of thing, and never asked anybody to do that. So, but we keep hearing stories like that. So if you hear anybody trying to knock on your door telling you
that we sent you,
Mark
and Kim don't send nobody.
We don't send nobody. Okay, that's not good. Okay, what do we see here?
I'm waiting for it to pop on the screen over here so I can post it.
Okay, it says Dr. Rosetta puts, absolutely, how can you love me and don't know my real name? Okay, all that. Oh, okay, here, Allie, you put, thank you, Allie. You put, I'm learning to keep on standing strong in YAHUAH, my creator, and Yahushua as my deliverer, and the Ruach showing me the way. That's so beautiful. That is so. That's right there. That's beautiful. Again, I know that there's others of here that you guys are just watching. You can't say nothing wrong, you guys. This is a time where I'm not judging you. I just want to make sure that you guys are getting it, and that you do understand. And feel free to always make comments, because there's nothing dumb you can say. I'll say something dumb before you type something dumb. So, but feel very free and feel very comfortable. Okay. All right, guys. Until next time, I guess that should do it. We're excited that you guys got to join us. Those of you that are brand new that actually watched the whole program, welcome to THC. I ask you to subscribe to this broadcast, and you don't have to necessarily share it, but you make sure you know it. Okay. And go back and look at some of these tapings. Okay, next week we'll be on chapter 4 of the book of YAHUAH. Let's continue to study and walk down this pathway. And then very soon in September, at the end of the month, we'll be together. We want you to join us. Again, what do they need to do for that?
You would need to call the office after this commercial break. You'll see the phone number. Contact the office. Call in to buy your ticket for the Feast of the Unleavened Bread by September 1st. And we hope to see you there again. As we always say, if you be in the Mashiach.
If you be in the Mashiach, then you are Abraham's seed.
And an heir according to that promise.
All right.
Glory be to Yah.
Till next time, we love you guys. Bye-bye.
There's no better way to spend my